Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan and today we are on the last of the menu books. I say the last of the menu books because there are some extra menu books, I think 6 of them, but this is the last of the main menu books that were originally part of the game before they extended it. And we are off for the GT Championships. This is going to be a 5-race marathon. We're going to be running at Deep Forest Raceway, Spa, the Nürburgring, some really iconic tracks. And we need a really good car here, so the first two need to be adjusted. I could go with the Mazda or the Audi, but I actually really like the Toyota Supra that we've been doing quite a lot of runs with. So I think I might actually go with the Supra, I think. So the first race is at the Deep Forest Raceway. We need a PP of at least 100 and less than 800. We need the National A license, so we fully qualify with everything. So let's get on with race number 1. This is 7 laps of the Deep Forest Raceway track, and this is the World GT Series. This is going to be 5 amazing races, and I'm going to split these up into 5 individual videos as before. So let's get into the race. So we're starting 20th. Looks like we've got a nighttime or an evening race. We're starting 20th and we need to get 3rd place for hire. This is a track that we know. It's got these 2 really long straights. Then we've got this more technical section with some really twisty parts, and then another long straight with a lengthy curve down to the really tight hairpin. So what I'm going to try and do is get through this traffic as best as we can. We've got 7 laps to do it, and unusually we're already a number of corners through and we haven't even overtaken a car yet. Now, a lot of the races I have been talking about whilst we've actually been running, as you can probably gather from this one, because these are bigger races and I was actually having to concentrate quite significantly. The commentary wasn't that great, so I am narrating this one after the fact, as I'm going to be doing with all of them. And you can already see that as we're coming not quite up to the end of the first lap, that will be at towards the bottom of this. This isn't exactly a straight, it bends around to the left, and then we're full beans down here, full acceleration. Got this little dip as we then go up the hill, nipping the inside back corner, drifting to the outside, and then we go over the start finish line. So we are 1 lap down and we are only up to 18th place. A lot of that is to do with the AI difficulty, because we have upped it. I think we've upped it to hard for this one. I did run this race a few days ago. I got a little bit behind with myself. I'm pretty sure that this is set to hard difficulty rather than the normal. I wanted to try and have a little bit more of a challenge for this last race. It's all been a bit easy more recently. I'm just coming up the inside of the Ferrari there. So yeah, this is going to now be a case of really having to go for it. The other thing as well is I'm getting used to these tracks now, having done quite a few menu books. So you are getting a feel for these tracks. And the other thing as well is you'll probably noticed I've been using the same sorts of cars for each of the runs, so I'm getting a feel for how these cars perform. So down into this very tight hairpin, down into 2nd gear. Normally try and grab a little bit more of the apex, but just probably a little bit unsighted with the Ford GT. Should be able to go down the outside of the GT, using the radar at this point just to see where that car is and to make sure that we don't turn in and do a Mitchell Morgan move on him. We go underneath the bridge, over the rise. We're looking for the beginning of that curve where we bury the brake pedal. I wasn't on full brake there, so I can probably brake just a little bit later. So third gear, and we come up through the gears, up into fourth. And in this section, it's really working the gears and the brake pedal and the accelerator, just to try and carry as much acceleration through as we can. Try not to cut too much of that corner where you've got that big concrete area, possibly a penalty. But just trying to carry as much speed around here as we can. You can use all of that green strip, nip the inside of this one, get it turned in left. Just need to get it slowed down, otherwise you will fly off and into the barrier on the right hand side. And then we are up to behind the 12th position racer. I wish it was the third. Just getting squeezed by the AI there. I think that was a safe move on our part. He was turning in on us. I shan't worry about that too much. We've got 11th and 10th in front of us, so catching up massively under braking. It's compromised us for that corner quite a bit, but we've got the run on the Porsche out of the corner, and we're trying to pick up a slipstream off the Viper, but I think the Viper is actually getting away from us a little bit here. As we go down the hill and up the other side, be really brave, catch the inside of that curve, let it drift to the right hand side, and then we come across the line to start the fourth lap. Now we're only up to 11th. This is the difference between the normal AI setting and the hard AI setting. We are certainly not running through these cars and running off into the distance as we have been doing previously. So just being careful not to take too much of the curve there. Ride that one, third gear through here, dropping it down. Actually, we left it in third for that one. The computer is screaming second gear for these corners. I don't always go with the gears that the game is suggesting. So this one we come into third gear. Just get that turned in nicely with this car. No need to drop it down into second. As with the other corners, again, third gear through there, the car was quite nicely balanced. Just trying to pick up the slipstream from the blue car in front. Is that a Corvette? Or I'm not quite sure what that one is. That's the BMW actually. I know my BMWs. It didn't. That threw me a little bit. Oh, lost the back end there a little bit. That's going to compromise. Let the BMW back through. Yeah, I should have known that was a BMW every day of the week. So we're now going to have to get in the slipstream and either come underneath him as we're doing there, take the inside line. Again, be brave, make sure we get that move done, and then we're going to need to watch for our braking zone underneath the bridge, over the top, beginning of the curve, bury the brake pedal. I'm just braking a little bit later this time, feeling how this car is performing under braking, and just being able to brake a tad later, which keeps the BMW behind us. And we've got about a 1.1 second cushion over the BMW. But we are still a massive 15 seconds off of the first place. We've had one or two squirmy moments, but haven't really done too much wrong in this race so far. Could be braking a bit later, could be turning in a little bit better on some of the corners. On the whole, it's not been too bad, but we are going to need to make tracks if we are going to get into the top three here. It looks like we've got the 8th, 7th, 6th and possibly the 5th cars fairly close. We're going to need to close up under braking. Just get it over the apex. Get on the power as soon as we can. Just the back end just a little bit loose again. Just a little bit too eager to get on the power. And they're just running away from us down this hill a little bit, and that's another lap is going to be checked off. So we're going into lap number 6. We've only got 2 laps and we're still only in 9th position. So this is not looking too clever at the moment. This car that we are in is reasonably matched to the cars around us, which is giving us a real old battle, which is great, really good. It's good for entertainment, it's good for your own feeling when you're driving as well, to feel as if you're actually having to work for the win rather than just getting a really easy win. And sometimes you can jump in a car that is just obscenely quick compared to the competition. Stick with the channel and you're going to see an example of that, because in a few races time, a few menu books time, I jump into an insane car that I find pretty much undrivable, but it makes mincemeat of everything else. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hit the bell button for notification of when that video comes. But coming back to the race, we're coming down to the hairpin for the penultimate time, closing up on 4th and 5th. They have a little bit of a door bang on the way through. Oh, there was that little opening I thought we might be able to take advantage of. Unfortunately, just the BMW gets a bit of a slide. That gives us an opportunity to dive up the inside, getting on the back of this car, trying to get the slipstream slingshot around the outside, and that puts us up into 4th place. 3rd, 1st and 2nd are significantly down the road. So at this point I'm thinking, how am I going to catch those guys? It's going to need to be late on the brakes, but also early on the power, to try and carry the speed through these corners and down the straights. I'm not going to have the ability, that was awfully cut, that corner. I'm not going to have the benefits of the slipstream on the long straights now. That is gone. Worse still, the car behind is only 1.6 seconds behind. So if we put a foot wrong here, we're going to give that car the slipstream, which will bring them right back into contention. And I do not have time to defend. And as you can see here, I am giving this everything right now, using all of the track and more. Thankfully, no penalties as yet. We've got a best lap of 1:31 and the purple section yet again, showing how much I'm pushing the braking points a little bit later all the time, apexing that corner, getting on the power as quick as we can. That was a lot cleaner. Up into 3rd, up into 4th. So we come down his hill, up into 5th gear, looking for the apex on the inside here, letting it drift out to the right. Really trying to get the power down here. It is game over, and we are not going to get nowhere near 1st, 2nd and 3rd. I don't feel I did a lot wrong. Maybe we could have tuned the car a little bit more, potentially. There was a few corners where I was a bit squirmy, but we come in with 7 points. Remember, we're going to get points awarded to us over these 5 races, and all of those points are added together at the end to give us an overall winner. So we are really going to have to get the hammer down when we head off to race number 2, which is going to be at Spa, another track that we like. So please join me for that. As I said a minute ago, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to support the channel. It's greatly appreciated while I'm trying to get this channel off the ground. Hit the bell button for notification of that video coming very soon. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.